We've got a wonderful action-packed second half for you. We've got three wonderful poets we're going to read for you, and then we've got an extract, maybe the whole thing, depends on my technological skill or lack of it, to play you the sketch, the BBC4, the Radio 4 sketch, which is in the book as well. But we thought if we do have time, we thought we'd play you at least part of the recording from YouTube. So our first poet on the second half is Rip Bulkley, who is a poet and historian and peace campaigner from Oxford. He's edited a book of poems about Oxford called Island City in 1999, and he won the Anderson Medal for his book Bellingshausen and the Russian Antarctic Expedition in 2014. His latest project has been the groundbreaking anthology Poems for Grenfell Tower, which he edited this year. Please welcome Rip.
As Chris just told you, it was my great good fortune to get to know Alemu through this anthology, which was entirely, as it were, my own idea, without any idea whether it would work or not, and whether I would get poems that were adequate. You know, adequate is probably the most you could hope for to that dreadful event in the summer of 2017. But I sort of conceived this, and then I had to hope it would work, and the poems began to come in, and some of them were amazing, and some of them were not. A group of friends got together to select the poems, and I had to, as it were, make the book, because I was not just going to make a book with people's names in alphabetical order or some such. It had to have a structure, and with the very great poem that Alemu sent me, I knew that I could do this, because his poem acts as a kind of arch keystone of the book, which starts from before the event and goes through the horrors. And there are some poems in here which are incredibly hard to read and even harder to perform, including that by Alemu. But it was really, you know, a great blessing to me to have this centerpiece, and because it, of course, it comes from the spot, and it's the directness and simplicity, but the passion and the pain of this poem, which will take us back to things that perhaps, well, we can't forget it, can we? Because we belong to a society in which that could happen. So I will read Alemu's poem, The Voices of Grenfell Tower. Hashim calling, calling. Hashim's wife calling, calling. Hashim's 3 children calling, calling. Look, the fire consumed a building. Now it is consuming me with all the burning voices of the dead. Old people, young people. Marco calling, calling. Boys and girls, everyone I used to see. Zainab calling, calling, and say hello to at the bus stop. Bernard, calling, calling, or the train station on Latimer Road. Nora, calling, calling. Voices wailing into their twisted mobiles. Hania and Esra calling, calling, about the stairs and the smoke, even if they have no eyes to see the building or live in it now without their bodies. Anthony calling, calling, even if their kind words and smiles in the street, Mariam calling, calling, have all gone up in smoke. Jeremiah calling, calling, we shared this ground. Now I bear witness to their disappearance. Oh, burning souls have burning voices. Let me be their guarantee of truth. Ligaya calling, Mehdi calling. We lived next door. What will you do for us? The voices ask whenever I go out or come back home. They want to know why it burnt down in minutes like a matchbox. And where will I find justice and a home for Noura's family of voices, Khadija's family of voices, for Malak's voice and Jessica's and Tukku's, for Biruk and his mother's voice, and Ali's voice, and little Isaac. Calling, 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 calling. That is Alemu. Well, I don't know what prizes there are for that. You should be getting it. Thank you. You pay £5.
That is definitely the best reading I've ever heard of Alemu's poem. And of your own poem, of course, but that was, you did that poem 10 times the amount of justice that I'm able to do with it. So thank you so much, Rip. That was wonderful. We've got the lovely Denise Saul next. Where's Denise?
I'm here. I'm here.
You're there, right. Denise Saul, she won the Poetry Society 2011 Geoffrey Dermer Prize. Now that's, and if you know anything about poetry, that is the sort of thing for the rising young poet. So we have one of the rising young poets amongst us tonight.
Evening, everyone. Really thank you, Alemu, for inviting me this evening. We met 2 years ago, didn't we? Time flies. So I'm just going to read your poem, My Mother in Her Country Town. I did not need a permit to keep my mother deep inside of me for 18 years. Her sadness at not seeing me, my sadness at not seeing her. But after 18 years, she died. And then the tiny ray of hope inside the sadness of not seeing her slipped out of me and sat down on the road and wept.
So much for very moving comments. So our last poet tonight is McConnon Odadjane. McConnon, I'm just going to say a bit about him while he wends his way through the crowd. McConnon's a prolific poet, a filmmaker, obviously you can see that, a blogger and an interviewer. I worked with him on translating some of his own brilliant poems, such as The Onion and A Good Shema, which were published in P&N Review last year. And I'd just like to say that it was poems like The Onion and A Good Shema, as well as Alemu's A Western Democracy, which prompted Michael Schmidt, the editor of Carcanet, to ask me to put together an anthology of Ethiopian Amharic poetry. He wants 250 pages without Amharic, basically just English. He wants folk poetry, he wants religious poetry, he wants 20th century poetry, he wants contemporary poetry from Ethiopia, from poets who live in Ethiopia, also from the diaspora. So, together with Alemu, we are tackling this mammoth task, which I have to say has never been done before. I'm not sure it's even been done in Ethiopia, because when I talk to poets there, anthologies are pretty rare. So, Makonnen is one of the people who's to blame for this. Makonnen Wadaji.
Thank you. It's a big honor to stand in front of you and to be asked to read Alemu's poems. I've known Alemu for some time now, and I really feel privileged to know a person like him, and of course Chris, because Chris has changed our life. I have lived here for so many years. I am a kitchen writer. I write my poems in my language. They remain there. After I met Chris, then a new life, because I saw he translated Alemu's, then he encouraged me to give him some of my poems, and eventually they have even appeared, as I said, on TN magazine. This is really a turning point in my artistic life, and I hope Chris has got. I believe I'm going to be the next one who you come, because he has got some of my poems which he's going to do. So Alemu, you have seen the political and the poetry deeply rooted into his belief system. I mean, from his world outlook. But Alemu is not all about politics. He has got life as well. He loves life. So one of his poems, which I'm asked to read, is about life, and it's about love, about his childhood. So those of you who understand Amharic, I'm sure you're gonna love it. This is what it says. Abet yachi lelit. Oh, that night. That is the English translation. ደሳሳ ጎጆአችን ጨለማ ውጧት ጉራጅ ነጠላችን ብርድ አሸንፏት በስትንፋስ መልሰን እኛ ያሞቅናት ተኝታ ላያችን በቀደም ሌሊቷን እንደጀመርናት የኔ አካል በሷ ውስጥ አንድ ሆኖ ቀልጦ ተዋህዶ እንደ ሰም ስንነድ ቦግ ባለው ብርሃን ድቅድቁ ጨለማ ላፍታ ተወግዶ የአካል ፍትጊያችን ድንገት እሳት ጭሮ አንድ አረገንና አቁላልፎ አሳስሮ የትካዜ ክምር አመድ ሲሆን ነዶ ዋሽንግተን ሲነፋ ኪሩቤል በሰማይ ከሰማይ መሃላችን ወርዶ ልባችንን ያሬድ በማራኪ ዜማ በፍስሐ ረዶ ከዋክብት አውርዶ መሬት ስትንቁና ያለንባት ምድር ተለወጠችና የሰለጠነው ከተማውን ሆና ገብተን ከፎቅ ህንፃ እጅግ ደስ ከሚል ተክቶት ጀንዲያችን ባለሰብነግ አልጋ እጅግ የሚል ደስ ፈረስ የሚያስጋልብ የሚያንፈላስስ ምቾት ግብር ገብተን ነጭ እንጀራ ገበታ ስንቆርስ ከፍቅር መዲና መሃል በመድረስ ችግር ቸነፈርን የረሳንባት የኤሌክትሪክ መብራት የሚበራባት ውሃውን በቧንቧ የሚፈስባት ሁሉም ተትረፍርፎ ሁሉ ሞልቶባት አይን አዋጅ የሚታይ እንደሆነባት የድሎታ ክርማ የቀጨንባት አቤት ያቺ ሌሊት የሌለባት እንዴት ትጥም ነበር እንዴት ትሞቅ ነበር ማለፍ አሳልፎ ለብርድ ባይሰጣት Let me give it a try to say Oh, that night, our rickety bee, but lost in the dark, just one thin blanket without a spark, We warmed the blanket with our breath. The blanket slept, not us. Beneath the blanket of the moon, we lit ourselves like torches and flared blissfully, wax bodies, souls, live like much on lover's skin, flared and rocketed us together into the startled sky. Our little piles of sadness up in the smoke, bone dry, look, cello fluttering his flute. Saint Yared has allowed us to be mute while chanting fills our ears. A million stars explode. Earth changes gears. Our village grows into a shining city. Little huts bewitched to multi-story storiety. Our skinny, bebushed cowskin mattress is filled of memory foam, big enough to ride a horse or write an epic poem. We lie under the soft sheets at the best spread table where no pain exists, no hungry bubble. Here we have electric light, hot water gushing from the taps, and everything just right, abundant, no mean gaps, a feast of comforts, even grass to make the baskets which we will take with us forever. Oh, that night we nighted. How good it tasted, how warm it felt, before we had to give it back to the chilly dark. Okay, I've got one short one of this. I think back to politics. Okay. Okay, I'll read it in Amharic first. It says, Afafu. አያሻም ለማልቀስ ፊትን በእንባ ማራስ መንታ መንታንግቶ አያሻም ሁሌ የግድ ብቻ መሆን ለብቻ ለመኖር ከሰው ተነጥሎ በጊዜ ወይ ቦታ ካንዱ ተለይቶ በጊዜ ወይ ቦታ ካንዱ ተለይቶ ዳር አገር ኗሪ ነው ሁሉም ካገር ወጥቶ ዳር አገር ኗሪ ነው ሁሉም ካገር ወጥቶ the age. You don't have to shed tears to be crying. You don't need to be lonely to know how it feels. Everyone is exiled from somewhere or someone. All of us live on the edge.
We're going to finish tonight, if this works. If it doesn't work, you'll excuse me. But we're going to finish with Tanrat in the Cyclops Cave, which I'm trying to...
This title felt apt for the series, given that refugees and migrants are often treated as nobodies.
Listen, this is the story of Tamrat, a young Ethiopian boy, boasting like a lion.
My name is Tamrat, son of Tasma. My name is Tamrat, son of Hope. People call me fly-footed because I shoot on mountains on my bare feet as if I am stepping on clouds. My factory shoes soak in a cupboard, but my knees are laughing and my toes chitter-chatter with excitement. Tamrat roll, yeah, Tasma lid. I'm Tamrat, son of Tasma. Tamrat, son of Hope. So what you I managed a stick across my back to beat off devils when they try to molest me. My body balance is so perfect that shepherds look up and shade their eyes.
A prince of tightrope walkers.
Yes, I am a small boy, but I am taller than any sheep, and nobody can see the future as clearly as me. It is a Chinese road snaking into the distance, glittering with Toyota trucks. Camera. Sometimes my mother leans out the broken window of our house and sings, what she's singing is, we live in the Garden of Eden, and after school I am going to shinny up the mountains with my friends, because there's a cave here which is huge and red and cool.
When she reminds him,
መስተንግዶ ጥቁር ነው።
hospitality is black,
ለጋስነት ጥቁር ነው።
generosity is black,
ነፃነት ጥቁር ነው።
freedom is black. For what I am searching, Almas? For my country I am searching. I have pushed my hands against a stone. I have tried to be a voice for the dead. Once I plied the great policeman with strong touch until he was drunk. I tried to stick a burning bribe into his eye, $100, but he turned away. Now my only way of living is to leave, to turn myself into a shadow man, and nobody.
Thank you all for coming again. There's more wine upstairs, I think. There's books to buy. We've actually got a few of Hammer's books as well. If you couldn't come to his launch last year, and if you wanted to buy the first of the Tamrat Ethiopian Poets series number 1. So we've got number 1 and number 2. Obviously, we know who hopes to be number 3. But we're not saying anything about that yet. Thank you very much for coming.